Welcome to Smack Up.
No, I'm not here.
It's
I'm
been
out.
like
I'm done.
10 years since
I'm
we
quitting.
recorded. No, fuck you, Peter. You're
I
done.
quit. I quit Smack Up.
Where are you gonna go?
To quit. We're putting you through the table like Mark Henry did last week.
Ah, my ribs.
1,000 times.
Ah, my ribs. Ah.
Guys, listen. Don't believe his lies.
I heard that table noise break like fucking 80 times in the opening. It was so annoying.
Who we got on today? We got the full Smackdown
Don't believe
crew.
his lies.
Got
Ty
Peter.
is just like Vince McMahon.
We got Joe and Narum, and we have a little special guest today. We got James today.
Yeah.
There
Hi,
he
James.
is. Hi, James.
Hello.
FTR
Thank you
fan
for having
James.
Big FTR guy, James.
Big FTR game.
I don't know. Out of FTR, I like one of them.
Which one?
FT
I don't
Bald.
like the other one.
Which
Find out
He's not
at
the
the
bald
end of
one.
the
I like one
episode
that's
which
not bald because he's
FTR
fucking
he
insane.
likes.
You like
Bald or
FT,
gun or
FT hair.
stupid.
I
FT gun.
like the gun stupid one because that's just what FTR is. It's guns and stupid.
Wait till you hear about Gunner Scott, buddy.
Gunner Scott.
Oh, I know all about Gunner Scott. Believe you me, I have.
Who?
Gunner
Ty has-
Scott's
Ty has the
third ass
DVD of
boy
him.
by my leg.
Do I have the
OVW.
DVD of Gunner Scott?
Yeah, I think he's on. I think he's actually on the fucking ROH DVD you bought.
I don't think
He was
that.
at least on the roster a little bit after.
I thought he was OVW, not Ring of Honor. They're not the same. Fuck you.
He gets there. He gets there eventually. I know that.
You're nuts, pal.
Someday.
Everyone's talking over each other. We're excited to talk about this SmackDown. What
We're
a
excited
good
to talk
start.
about Gunner Scott.
But guys, Rey Mysterio got his music.
Who's
It's here.
that jumping our...
No, he got Booyaka 619. We so up. We're so up, guys. He's back.
Oh, it's new. He's
It's
got
new.
It?
He got it. Yeah, I was shocked.
Wow.
I
That's
think
what happens when you get promoted.
Wow.
When you're the world heavyweight champion, you know
But
you
the
get
question-
squashed
the question
like 4
is-
weeks in a row, and you get new theme music. That's the theme.
Is Mark Henry getting his new music yet?
not yet.
No, fuck you.
We'll talk about
That's
that.
what I'm most interested by. I had no idea. Going back and not even realizing Mark Henry had just
When 3-6
Yeah,
Mafia
nothing
wasn't
music.
there.
He's got his Mortal Kombat 3 music on.
Yeah.
As Joe
He's got
called
the
it.
strobe lights. It's all Lord Almighty. It looks like Batman Beyond. It's nuts.
I'm gonna keep it
We're
100
in
and funky with y'all.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, we're in Cincinnati today. Fuck the Bengals. We don't like the
That's
Bengals.
fucking
I mean, the
awful.
Bengals are fine. They're not in our
Fuck the
we don't,
Bengals.
we don't care. What other Cincinnati team they got? The Reds? They're fine.
I don't think
Any-
you can say that.
Any Pete Rhodes fan out there? What do you mean?
They're
I don't
gonna
think you
change the
can say
name, dude.
that.
They're not gonna be Reds for much longer, dude.
Yeah.
What do you mean
All
by
All you
Reds?
viewers in
No.
2006, bro. They're gonna change it, dude.
Pal, it's just a
They're gonna
C.
change it, dude. Nah, they're gonna change it. You know what they mean by
Well,
it.
I don't know what
So
you
anyway,
mean by
Rey
that.
Mysterio is here. He's got his new music, and he's definitely going to be fighting JBL at Judgment Day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that belt looks rough
Well-
on Ray. By the way, it just looks
No
too big.
way. I
It looks
love
like
it.
a child's toy on him.
No, it is a bit too big, the actual size of the plate itself, but the title, the design looks good on him.
I just
That's
think it's
the
so
best
funny.
title of all time.
I feel like it would be diminutive to make him a smaller title. just
Yeah,
for the
but
sake
it's
of
just
his
funny.
size.
They
But
should
like
have
that's
made
what
it
the
a
light
mini
heavyweight
title.
title is. Like that's what that title was. It was just a smaller version of the heavyweight title.
They should have made a mini version.
There
for him.
was some guy in the crowd holding up like a belt, like a toy belt or something, and it had like Rey Mysterio as like the faceplate of it.
That's
I thought
good.
that was
Oh,
cool.
my.
It
Ray
should have been
gotten that.
yesified. Rey Mysterio.
Ray,
Yeah,
Ray
yeah.
should have gotten a belt that's a spinner belt of his face. I think that would be really good.
Yassified Rey Mysterio
Ooh.
face.
Like a pop-up book, or he like jump up from behind it or whatever. Every
Jump
time
off
he,
the
like,
Poop
steps.
that
turns
jumping.
Yeah, like his hands are like the front covers, and then you like pull them apart, and his face comes out.
Exactly.
This promo fucking sucked. I'm sorry. Ray
No,
talked.
no,
Ray sucked.
talking about?
Ray sucked,
What are you
dude.
talking about?
Ray was
Here's the
awful.
Here's the thing about Rey Mysterio, especially cutting a babyface promo out of anything. Rey Mysterio is literally just gonna say, like, literally the most meat and potatoes, the most cheesy, the most absolutely nothing of like bad guy stuff. He
This-
wasn't even responding to what JBL was saying.
This
All right.
city. Oh, this city.
Listen,
No matter what you say, JBL, I'll fight you anywhere, anytime. Like,
listen, Rey Mysterio doesn't have to try because his whole character is already doing the heavy lifting for him. It
yeah,
doesn't
he looks
matter.
like he looks like Batman. He looks like Spider-Man. He doesn't have to say anything happy. He already
He
looks
jumps
happy.
high and he looks cool.
Dude.
Let's digest what he says though. He comes out, and we get more Eddie chants, and Ray says, "Every morning I wake up, I
I'm so
realize that
happy.
being a champion is a gift."
I'm so happy to be a champion every
Was-
day,
And
and
he
I love
enjoys
it.
every minute of it.
Was the crowd
And then he
into it?
says,
Which-
I
"Last
was really
week,
close to losing."
yeah, he says last week I almost tapped to Kurt Angle, dude. Why would you say that?
No, literally.
Like I
I know,
wasn't
but no,
gonna
no.
tap.
Well, and that's the whole thing is that those promos are just lead-ins. They tell you to improvise those. Just keep going up until we hit the music. So he literally was just like, and last week I what should I say? I almost lost to Kurt Angle, and then they cut him off, and then it's just then JBL comes
My
out
ribs.
and
And then
just cuts.
JBL says, "You are the epitome of a masked illegal."
Yeah. Yep.
And I said,
Oh,
"Oh,
It's
starting off
It's
hot."
the
No,
American hero versus the masked illegal immigrant.
JBL.
Oh my
JBL
God,
says there is a place in America for illegals.
Well, only in JBL's
Wow.
America. In JBL's
In
America.
JBL's America, yes. As scam
Yeah,
workers.
as garbage men, gardeners, and highway trash people.
Yep.
Yes.
He blames Rey Mysterio for some kind of protest that was going on in 2006. And says he's
yeah.
the leader of the illegals.
Yeah.
And then he also
there's
then
a
he
mass
also
walkout.
compares. He also compares the Mexican people to that of dogs, to which
He's like, "You're not
Rey
a dog."
Mysterio responds to him. Yeah, exactly. You're not a dog. You're a Mexican, which is the
What do you
most
mean?
Republican line you could have. Like the most, if you had to put like stalwart, like just absolute, like George Washington coming back and just saying some shit.
Well, he goes. They're also the Eddie chant starting and everything in JBL. So he says, "Yeah, it's always for fucking Eddie because nobody gives a shit about you, Ray. You dumb bitch."
Honestly,
Yeah,
though,
they're always they're either
He's
chanting
right.
for Eddie or they're chanting for me because nobody gives a shit about you.
To be honest, he's kind of cooking.
Yeah.
And it was a great. It was past the heavy-handed racism.
Look, even the
Solid
heavy-handed
promo.
racism has its place here. He's a heel.
you're
He
not
is
a
a heel.
dog,
He's
Ray.
He's wearing a USA fucking sport jacket. And it's got like the fucking Patriots logo
Well,
on
he's the
top.
U.S.
It's
champ,
crazy.
dude.
Well, yeah.
He is the U.S. champ. You are correct.
You
He
are
also-
not a
he also
dog, Ray.
declared, He's also declared himself as the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship.
They
Just
said
because.
Well, they said
Yeah.
on commentary too, so I
Yeah.
guess he is. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's
fuck it.
just
And
because he
whenever-
said it at this point.
Well,
Well,
no,
what-
that's
what
yeah. As soon
bothers
as he
me,
woke,
though-
as soon as he walked out, yeah.
He simply manifested it.
Look,
What's
it makes
going
sense.
here?
He survived Teddy Long's steel cage fucking judo expansion technique. So
Yep.
from a couple weeks ago. So I
Judo
think he's earned it.
expansion.
Yeah, whatever
I
the
need you to
fuck.
expand on judo expansion.
Whatever the fuck you anime nerds are watching, he activated his. All right,
The only annoying
get me
thing
out of
here,
this.
though,
I
is
don't
that-
want to talk about fucking Naruto, dude. You're gonna get me going.
Joe,
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
Naruto.
that
Let's
garbage.
unpack that.
Teddy Long's Mangekyo Sharingan was deactivated by JBL Susanoo, dude. And his Susanoo is the American spirit.
Keep going. And then he hit him with the what smash. I need you to give me an American type of smash.
Oh, dude,
It's the
he'd hit him
Detroit
with the
smash.
yeah, dude. He'd hit him with the
Texas
with the
tornado, dude.
El Paso smash.
The El
The what?
Paso.
The El Paso, yeah.
Okay, all right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because that's the best place to own land. Because Texas, no income tax, and also illegals. Am I right, JBL?
JBL would agree.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm saying.
That's if we could ever revisit that whole.
Rey Mysterio is disgusted by all this. He said, "I'm not a dog. I will fight anybody, anytime, Whitey." And JBL laughs at him. He's like, "Oh, okay. You got Mark Henry tonight, bitch."
And Ray's like,
Mark
wait a minute,
Henry
wait a
comes
minute.
out.
You're not a
Which
dog.
is super
This
fun.
now. You're a Mexican.
And this is the thing that confused me
And-
too was that
Mark
They had
Henry
Mark
was just
Henry.
ready and waiting.
yeah no, and that's literally what it was. They had Mark Henry come to the ring. They had JBL, Rey Mysterio, Mark Henry all in the ring at the end of the segment, and then it goes to commercial. We come back, and it's a completely separate match.
My favorite,
right,
the
but-
best part of all this is how like consistent it is that Vince like loves to book like a dude fighting another dude's battle, and it's usually like a minority.
It's
You know what?
it's not the size of the fight.
What
the dog.
What I want to hear.
Man.
What I want to hear. I want to hear Narum talk about this.
About the
Let
next
them
segment?
in. Well, I mean, just like, what are your thoughts on this big dog?
Oh, I mean, this is a good segment. I mean, other than Rey Mysterio just cutting a dog water like babyface promo, JBL did hit a lot of good points. The crowd does not care about Rey; they just care about Eddie. And JBL does expand on this later because he does say Eddie was a good champion. He would know because he fought him and beat him.
It's so honestly crazy to hear him
Which
being
that's
like,
a great line too.
Eddie's good. Fuck you, Ray. You suck.
Like
But
I
then
know
when
how
he's
good Eddie
like,
Guerrero was because I beat him. That's a bar.
but then when he's like, go pick up garbage on the highway, I'm like, because you're Mexican, I'm like, ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, once he starts throwing in the vatos and mi amigos and all the
Oh, we're amigoed crazy.
You should-
JBL's amigoed crazy.
You should have heard him when he was in Japan. We'll never talk about that again. But he
yeah,
went
that's
on a hot
amazing.
one.
To talk about it again.
JBL
What
was
did he
out
say?
there
in
in
Japan?
Japan.
Say West Side.
No, that's Ray. That's Ray in Japan.
No, what did JBL say in Japan?
He said Godzilla,
he went
but
out-
very
He
racist.
went out there and said, and was screaming MAGA.
Don't ask somebody said in Germany in 05.
That's JBL what he said in Germany in 05. Don't look that up, loyal listener.
All right, moving on. Kurt Angle is injured. So he
Oh
had to
man,
forfeit his spot in the King of the Ring match.
do we have a
I
no
guess we'll go
soundboard? Do we have no? Like no.
Got this.
Carmella, can you please repair my surgically repaired elbow?
But yeah, so Booker T, he comes on out here. We see a sign a kid's holding. It says, "I drove 180 miles to see my man Booker T." I think you need a better opinion on who your man is, kid.
Nah, that dude's a baller.
He got his
No.
match though. At least he wasn't in the
He did.
fucking injury timeline.
Yeah, so Booker T comes out crazy pyro, by the way.
Yeah, that's how
T
Booker's
Pyro
pyro's
always
always
been.
been.
Not lately.
Ever since WCW.
I don't know, it just seemed like brighter than usual.
They've been given like after WrestleMania, they've been given Booker T like kind of the works here, you know,
Yeah, they're making him a big deal.
which I like because he was working with dog shit. Even though the Boogeyman thing was kind of dog water, him and Charmel were making it work. So they're just so funny.
Yeah, they are
Whenever
very funny.
Charmel just makes me laugh, dude. Her like quirks and shit. And Booker
They
T's
don't put them on
hilarious.
commentary. They're good like in the ring and then like in promos and backstage segments. Just please do not put these people on the mic in the commentary table. I'm sorry, NXT viewers.
Hey,
He's kind of cooking in NXT.
Well, 20 years of hindsight.
Well, I mean, even if you don't put him on the commentary table, he showed us in TNA that he's perfectly capable of commentating his matches as he's performing.
No,
it.
no. That
was a different guy.
Booker T.
That was a different guy.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
who
I
that is.
apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, so SmackDown is brought to you by AutoZone,
oh,
Tomb
Okay.
Raider Legends, and Subway.
Okay. Hell yeah.
I can't wait to play Tomb
All right,
Raider
Ty.
Legend with the boys.
I need you to get me my foot-long pretzel
Foot long pretzel now? They're not.
right now.
It's like midnight, dude.
No, it's not. Give me my foot-long pretzel or else I will kill you.
Okay, dude.
Get in the
Okay.
zone, auto zone.
I'll get you a carburetor, bro.
I need a carburetor and a foot-long pretzel. It's
And
going to be a
Tomb Raider
long
Legend.
night. And Tomb Raider Legend on the Xbox 360.
Playthrough coming soon, maybe. I don't know, man. We got to play Black first at some point.
What?
The game Black on Xbox, the original Xbox. Soon.
What are you talking about, buddy?
It was a sponsor.
It's African American to you.
We still got to play the con.
Oh, the con. That's right. Early OG smack up where I was
And we
dead.
got and we got to watch Poseidon and whatever
Lucky
else
Number
the
11.
fuck.
Twister. What the fuck
Twister?
was that movie?
That's Poseidon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was Poseidon?
Yeah.
Fuck. I just knew it was a disaster
Oyster.
movie.
I want.
Lord Almighty.
Listen, man, get us through this match. Gunner Scott's here.
All
He's got
right,
an actual
so
entrance,
Gunner
man.
Scott, he gets his ass out here.
So-
Cole and Taz both hype up Gunner Scott as the
Gunner
next big
Taz,
thing.
the next big Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Taz says it's good to have Chris Benoit as a mentor. I don't know about that, buddy.
Does Taz know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he knew.
But
He
Taz
could've-
usually says what's on his heart, and I don't think he knew.
not really much to this match. Gunner Scott just gets fucking, from what I recall, like headlocked a lot.
Yeah.
It
Um,
was definitely very improvised on the spot, and he was trying to come off of his momentum from the previous week, and it just, they kind of just piddled around. It wasn't
Yeah,
wasn't
but
anything
not-
impactful. A lot of rest holds, a lot of chaining, a lot of stuff that just led to Booker T stuff. Nothing big from Gunner other than that like roll up bridging pin.
Yeah, like I feel something important happened in this match, but I guess like I was thinking of something else. I mean,
There's this
Really? I
Charmel
can't think of
distraction
anything.
moment, and that was really it to set up the end of the match.
yeah, Charmel distracts him, and Booker ends up hitting the scissor kick for the win. And
Which
then he
is-
says, "Oh, go ahead."
Oh no, I was just gonna say the fact that he is like actually migrating through the scissor kick and he's not going too much to the bookend as well at this time. I feel like that's I enjoy that. That's just me personally. I very much like Booker T's super kick versus the bookend. So to see that actually come through and we're in this era of Booker T again. I like that.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe they had Charmel interfere for Gunner Scott. Because Gunner, I mean, all right. So James, you weren't watching, but Gunner Scott debuted as just a jobber and got a dub over Booker in his first
Yeah,
match.
that was
1, 2, 3
the
kid
previous
style.
week where
So that was like a while back, and then he hasn't just been on at
Oh.
all. And then their Booker's like, I want my win back, so he got his dub back, and it was not clean. And it's supposed to be your King of the Ring favorite because he keeps wanting to be the king, and he has to cheat the win. Awesome.
So, I would say that like this, I mean, obviously plays into it. You know, the more they're showing us something, the more they want us to expect or believe something. You know, so Booker T and Charmel will be a mainstay, of course, as we've seen through all of SmackDown. At the beginning of this match, I thought they got pretty good. They got into, they locked up, and then Gunner got Booker into the corner. And then he used most of the 5 count to keep it on Booker in the corner. And then he like smacked Booker back into the thing. He's like, I already beat you. And then Booker was like, yeah, get out. And then like made the ref back up Gunner Scott, which was kind of seemed like, oh, you know, the veteran kind of, you know, just kind of teasing him, but not like how he was the first time, you know, because he underestimated him the first time. Now he's sort of, you know, they
got
kind of
him, yeah.
locked in. Yeah, tonight was Booker and Charmel's lock-in moment of the night, I'd say.
I don't know. There's something
Well, and I
like
feel
off
like
about
that-
this match. There's something off.
What? Well, I feel
I
like
think-
that also just like Booker's just authority is also leading into, you know, like the potential with the King of the Ring, with him becoming King Booker into that transition and everything else
Who?
of the sort, where they're planting those seeds early on. And
Yeah, but
it's-
what if Bobby Lashley or like Finley or someone wins? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be sweet.
it's
We'll have
yeah,
to
it's
see.
well, especially just hearing at the end of this promo or hearing at the end of this segment rather, where he does cut the promo after he wins his match, and it's all hail King Booker. That's at least like having him rather like command the ref around, having him, you know, like give veteran slag toward the new guy and everything else like that. It does help the image of him pursuing that King of the Ring, if that's what he's going for.
Yeah, but if he
wins.
fights Finley or Chris Benoit, he's gonna beat both of them. He's gonna beat
Yeah,
either
yeah.
or. He doesn't care who
That's
wins.
what he said.
I think
That's
the
what he said.
core issue here is that Kurt Angle is not participating anymore, and it feels
That's
pretty
fine.
clear that he was going to be a big participant in the King of the Ring, and that's why this match kind of fucking sucks.
I think they killed Gunner Scott because Kurt Angle died. Because now
Yeah.
Gunner Scott got a hot win, and then they left him in the dust, and then they brought him back with a new entrance, and he did a little like pose, and that's all he did, and he's dead now. So who knows?
And we never
He
heard
just
from
got
Gunner
squashed
Scott
in 5
again.
minutes.
I don't think Vince sees anything in this guy other than being a Chris Benoit like schmuck, like just the
All
guy
of
that's
this-
exactly him.
Sorry, but all of this
No, you're
just
good.
does feel like Buffer trying to like recoup and kind of scramble for Kurt Angle having been injured, and then they also had to fly back from the UK. from
Yeah,
last
it doesn't
week,
feel like
so-
this match was rehearsed at all. It feels like they were very much talking their way through it and
Yeah,
just
Well, it
like
probably
calling
wasn't.
spots.
And going off like what Ty said, they lost a lot of zeal for Gunnar Scott just because he looked like Chris Benoit, and they're like, well, why do we need 2 Chris Benoits?
Yeah, like
Somebody
again,
back for
a
new.
little flashback to James after he won. They go backstage and Gunnar Scott meets up with Chris Benoit, and he's like, "I like you, kid," and like smacked him on the shoulder, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, and that's you mentioned earlier where he's like yeah, that's Chris Benoit's a good
That was
mentor
the
to
bit.
have, and it's like
That's the bit.
yeah.
I did like Booker's
Yeah.
goofy ass pose that he hits after he gets done.
That's got to be on the thumbnail, dude. He was hitting that shit. He went up to the announce table. He's like, "All hail King Booker," hands up, head down. Bro, he was striking that shit for real.
That's right.
He has that gravitas, but
Guys.
it's just overall, it just wasn't a great match.
We got a tag team
All right.
title match.
Well, before that,
Oh, what do we got?
the WWE Slam of the Week
Oh,
was brought
shit.
to you by Tomb Raider Legends.
Yeah.
Again?
No,
We're pushing
it's
that
brought
shit.
to you by. That's the Smack of the Week, not Smackdown as a whole.
We're all sponsored by Tomb Raider Legend. Go out and get your copy, fresh copy, GameStop, Funko Land.
Power
What's
to
it
the
got?
players.
EB Games.
They'll
Risk
definitely be
replay.
around by the time this episode comes out.
The Smack of the Week is Melina versus Jillian
Oh my.
when they got into that fight, which apparently has led to a match at Judgment Day.
That card art is insane. Like, why do they have
Yeah, it was
Melina's like?
nuts.
I thought it was like a bra and panties match by the way they made him look.
Yeah. The divas, especially like up until 2008, really were just portrayed just as softcore pornographic
Well-
actresses. That's really
That's all Raw. SmackDown, we don't really get women.
Yeah, we don't have women's graps here. I'm not holding out for Kelly Kelly, you know?
Yep.
Who?
We're waiting for ECW.
it's ECW.
They figured out how to do JPEG and make a card look nice on Judgment Day. Surprisingly, it's not shitty like washed out shit. They want to actually.
Because they used clip art for fucking Backlash.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Use
using
magazine cutouts.
Microsoft Word for this fucking shit. They're literally using whatever old English typeface. And it's like, okay, we'll use the capital letters in the big part, and then we'll use the lowercase letters in the small part.
You don't understand, pal. I'll DM him to you right now while Narum goes through this title
Real
match.
quick though, did you guys know this is actually Judgment Day is actually the last brand specific pay-per-view?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Is that true? I thought
Apparently, from what I read, yeah, it was the last one.
I don't know if that's true yet. I thought 07. I think after Mania 07. I think Mania 23. Because I think Vengeance is
It was
Raw.
the final Judgment Day. Oh, never mind. It was the final Judgment
Yeah,
Day.
yeah. Because next year they just say we're done with it. Because we got
Yeah.
ECW One Night Stand coming up, and then we got Vengeance, which is Raw, and then Great American Bash SmackDown. So I think we got pretty much this is like the last year of like the brand being split as like a whole year.
That's when we get things.
That's why
like
you have-
Capital Punishment.
Oh, 2011,
Okay.
baby.
Anyway, so yes, we got a tag team match here. Eminem versus London and Kendrick. This is for the tag team belt. So we thought. What happens is London and Kendrick come out, and then
They
Taz
get
says,
gooned on.
they get gooned on crazy. The glazing for London and Kendrick by both Cole and Taz is nuts. Both of them say they deserve this chance. Taz, even though he's usually like the heel commentary, says, they've definitely got the champs numbers.
It's the point of they've just beat them so many fucking times in a row at this point. It's absolutely silly that we haven't had a proper title match.
That's the
Yeah, well, they're-
crazy part. Yeah, it took 3 matches to get here.
There was a singles match in there too, right?
Two
It was
singles matches, I believe.
2 singles matches, a 6-man tag. Well, it was a straight up tag team match. Then the 1-on-1, the 1-on-1, the 6-man tag last episode, which is 4.
That's crazy.
I can't count.
So, but yeah,
That's how you make a program, brother.
Eminem.
That's how you make a marquee.
GM mode going crazy.
Melina just comes out by herself, and from behind was Bastard.
I thought it was sick.
Nitro and Mercury. It was pretty cool. They just beat the hell out of London and Kendrick. Melina tells them to hit the snapshot, so London and Kendrick both get deleted with the snapshot. And then they just leave.
Yeah, which was they just hit the snapshot 3 times as well, which like
Insane.
it's just a base ass finisher. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't anything pretty, it wasn't anything special. It was a flapjack DDT combo.
I love it.
So like for what they're doing, it's if you have to hit it twice on Brian Kendrick in order to keep him down, maybe you need a new finisher.
Listen, man,
you know?
that man's full of lizard
Brian
energy.
Brian Kendrick is fucking hot right now, and he's on the lizard person train. He's reading conspiracy theories on the wand boards.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, I know all about him. He's one of those QAnon folks. He's great.
You gotta just break the brain a little bit, otherwise you're never gonna beat him. You have to just smash him in the ground a little bit. So I think Eminem hit perfectly. They did a great job. You know what? They finally got some heat on the fucking tag champs rather than have them get dogged out 3 weeks in a row. So, thankfully,
that's fair. Yeah.
Speaking of
back.
real heat, though.
Oh,
What do you guys want to? When are we gonna go do our Inepe?
dude, we're all gonna get in that sweat lodge. We're gonna have the Smack Up special. We're gonna join the tribe, and we're gonna get sweat off. We're gonna have a pod in the dark room, and we're gonna start seeing shit.
6 hours.
Yeah. I don't know if they allow Eggo liquor in there, but we're going to be passing that around.
I'm gonna be sitting right next to Pete with my arm around him.
Yeah, we're gonna be real buds right here.
If I can be real honest with this, it was so cool. They make Tatanka
really cool.
look so good. He's
Yeah.
he is fucking jacked to the teeth.
Oh my god, he's big.
That man is huge, and he's like in his 40s, and he looks so
Tatanka.
imposing.
And I really
That's all that chicken
really
breast
like
and
too.
asparagus.
I really like the independent documentarian aspect that they took on it as well, to actually add to like the serious aspect of it, where it's hey, we're gonna hire somebody like just to do a voiceover, make it look like a crew went in, filmed a documentary, all while Tatanka was actually live doing this. So I feel like that was a really nice, like something you don't see too far often from the WWE production staff. So
Big shout out to Errol Medicine showing up 2 weeks in a row. That's my guy right there.
Oh, and Tatanka was technically reborn by Justin Miller too, so that's fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is like a real these are like a real Lakota traditions and stuff. I looked it up. I'm like, that's not no way. No,
There's no jokes.
no,
there.
that's
No, it's all real. It's all the whole thing. They're
Tatanka's
really
cool as fuck, dude. Like the whole promo package is everything. They're building him up so good, and I just feel like we need so much out of him when he's finally here.
well, and especially. Go ahead. I'm
real
sorry.
Quick, I put it in the Smack Up chat, but I wish there was more Native American wrestlers, so that way we could have like a Native American versus like Samoan feud.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
so
cooking.
if you read into Tatanka, Tatanka tried to actually start. What's it now? Yeah, no. South Atlantic Pro Wrestling used to be North American Pro Wrestling, and he tried to keep it centric around North Americans. It's just like the amount overall for the interest is just very.
Do you mean Native Americans?
No, it was Native American.
You said North
professional-
Americans.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, but no, I'm sorry.
Those
the
damn,
original North American.
those damn Canadians.
Yeah, it was damn Canadians. But yeah, no, it was the Native American wrestling. I have it written down. I don't even want to get into what condition I was in. But yeah, the Native American Wrestling Alliance turned into the South Atlantic Wrestling
Smoke some
Alliance.
schmuck.
Some schmuck. He was lighting the pipe.
But yeah, no. So he actually, for what he did for his community, he actually tried to build an entire league. Which props to him. Props to Tatanka.
I really hope they do good by him because they actually respected his culture on a show where they just were super racist in the first segment. So there's a really weird dichotomy going on here. Who's writing this shit?
When you have the Mexicools and the anti-illegal immigrants.
The Mexicools
this
are
is
good.
definitely like a Vinceism, right? Like Vince will like make fun of Ray because he's a short little guy. He's not going to do anything. He came from WCW. And then he like walks up to Tatanka, and Tatanka's like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And like
he
could
sees
totally
this
just fucking
beefcake
wreck
and he's
his
drooling.
shit. Yeah.
He's drooling
So
out the mouth.
he's like, "I like that guy. I like that guy."
He scares me. I'm sure his
total Vinceism, but yeah.
He scares me. I'm sure I can name a dildo after him.
Oh my.
Has there been like an imposing, like thick, meaty guy like that's Mexican, other than like Ricky Banderas? Like, cause like Mil Muertes is a big, thick fucker. Like in WWE, like in WWE. Well, like other than that, but like in WWE, because like mostly they're cruiserweights or they're like light heavyweights, and maybe that's why Vince was just like, "Hey, listen, they all stink. He. Look at these guys."
I mean, roided out Eddie fits the bill.
Yeah, you know that's why they like JBL's like, "I love Eddie, but everyone else sucks." Because like I can't
really think of anybody else outside. I mean, you also have to think the style of wrestling that's predominant in Mexico loans itself to more cruiserweights than anything else. So it makes sense.
Lucha is more made for high flying, but especially like outside of the WWE, at least. I don't know if we're breaking kayfabe here, but you know, you have one or two guys like Roosh and everybody like that were coming up independently around that time. So like you do have a couple people that are of that size that are
I think
Mexican. He started in 02.
Oh wow.
Not like independently, but like yeah, he's been around. It might have been even 2000 if I'm remembering correctly, but yeah, Roosh has been he was one of the more larger people, at least that I can remember. You know, above 6 foot, you know, bodybuilder type build. That actually could move, had speed, everything else of the sort. But yeah, inside WWE, short of Eddie Guerrero, and even then, Eddie Guerrero was 5'10".
Speaking
he wasn't the biggest guy.
Speaking of big fuckers, Teddy Long and Daivari are hanging out backstage.
This was hilarious.
And Daivari's on his phone. He's giving a call. Teddy Long interrupts him and he goes, "Hey, listen, man, I got your guy a match." And he's like, "Huh? You got my guy a match? Who's against?" He goes, "I got you.
And he says the thing.
Undertaker wants to fight you at Judgment Day." And he's like, "Oh, yes." And then Great Khali just like appears behind him, like he just Undertaker'd behind him, and he's just like,
he goes,
startles and knocks over Teddy, kind of like Teddy has to like
he can't see Teddy.
Step back.
He
does a Frankenstein's monster mode.
He didn't know he was there.
Undertaker.
Well, this entire period, once they started manipulating him using camera angles and like actually like teleporting him and doing that sort of gimmick, that I feel like was the peak of this like Dark Wizard Undertaker, where he's actually just showing up. You just see smoke and then he appears. Like that's just.
But Khali does it too now.
I think
so Undertaker
yelled about
finally
this.
met his match, and it's a Punjabi playa.
I think I yelled about this on the WrestleMania pod, where like I'm like, damn. Taker can't have a good Mania match until later on because they keep giving him the big fuckers all the time. They're like, "Hey, listen, we got to have Taker fight everyone big," and then Vince licked his lips and started shaking his hands and said, "Taker versus Khali, brother. Yeah, I need it for the paper, please." And everyone's like, "No, I want Taker Angle again, please." That was the best match of the year so far. God damn it!
You're getting the Undershitter's fucking. Versus Khali.
Oh,
right?
No, please.
Undershitter versus Khali.
Oh.
I think the thing I liked the most about this whole segment, was when Teddy's like, "Oh, I got a match for you, for Khali, from The Undertaker." Or no, when he just says, "I got good news." Daivari's like, "Oh, well, I hope it's good news." He doesn't seem like heelish at all. He's just like, "Oh, well, I hope it's good news."
Yeah, he's actually like positive and optimistic about it. And then when Teddy Long brings it up to Khali himself, Khali's just screaming.
Oh,
Well, Davari's not like he's the heel because Davari is with Kali and whatever. But like most of the promos that he does is people are scared of the great Kali, and they should be. Look at him. And that's all Davari is. So I don't think Davari like outwardly has been a bad guy with like Kali. He just stands next to Kali, who's 4 feet taller than him, and it's just like, that's gotta be a bad guy. That guy wears a suit. And he's next to a guy. He's standing next to a tiger that got turned into a person.
Yeah, well, it's essentially the what the hell? It's the emperor and the champion, as you will, right? Where you got this meek king who's all fat or tiny or whatever, can't fight worth a shit, and then they bring in Leonidas, who's their giant fucking champion, which is not necessarily the dynamic they're going for, but it's more so the role play, and especially when you get somebody that's Davari's size comparatively to Kali, it's like, oh yeah, that specifically contrasts like how giant Kali is when we put him next to a 5'0" guy. So let's have that guy be his manager. So that way, whenever you see the two of them together, you just immediately assume that he's 4 feet taller than you.
Quick little like background. Davari was with Kurt Angle this year, and then he said, "Fuck you, Angle. I got my big boy now." So that's
Angle killed him.
Angle did kill him. That's right. Angle did kill him. Then he went to
Mark Henry. Who got killed.
Guys, we just watched, or I just released the Mania episode. I completely forgot he had Davari with him. Guys, I'm sorry.
No, because Davari wasn't he didn't come to ringside for
he hates
the
Mark Henry
match because Undertaker paralyzed him, and that's why Davari went to the jungle hot springs of Punjab, and that's where he found the great Khali.
Fair enough.
It all makes sense. You guys just have to watch the show.
It's all kayfabe.
Do we have anything in between this and the FTR match of the night?
Teddy Long gave the contract to Khali. He's like, if you understand what I'm saying, sign the contract for the match at Judgment Day. Undertaker already signed it. And then Khali takes it, like slams the pen across the contract, and just starts yelling at Teddy Long about the Undertaker.
Bam, bam, bam.
So I like to think that Great Khali understands the finer things like contracts and upholding liability when you sign them.
Yeah, he understands diplomacy and like what's the term for paperwork, but like clerical, means. But like he just doesn't want to say anything. He just likes yelling because that's his gimmick, man.
No, he's speaking. All the real Punjabi playboys know what he's saying. Am I right? Punjabi playboys, get in the comments, like and subscribe.
India number one, baby.
What do you guys think about Fit Finley?
Dude, this whole time, I don't understand Finley's whole bit of just being just like this old shitter who comes in, fights, and sucks.
Well,
and then he has good match once in a while, and then he puts on a 20-minute clinic with Chris Benoit. I don't get it.
This is FT Bald's. Like, he watches this match like every night religiously. I know he does.
It is fine. It is a good match, but I don't need this. I don't want this.
What you didn't like Green Kane versus Bowflex Kane?
No. It was fine. It was good. It's just long.
Well, especially there's parts of Finley's booking where it doesn't seem like he cares like how he's going to come out. So especially when he does like a shillelagh spot, it's very much like, oh, are you like he's getting booed and he was getting cheered when he came out. Like what? And then he just comes out another time and he gets cheered again. And then it's he doesn't really know what he's doing. They don't know what they're doing with him. But they keep him on because he's a great performer. And it's especially for what he can do. Like he puts on a clinic with Benoit because they're both great workers. And that's, you can only work as well as the person you're working with. And that if you get two people that really know what they're doing, Lord Almighty.
Yeah, so Finley came out first. He's Finley. He likes to fight. He's green. He goes to the setup for the King of the Ring stuff. He picks up the scepter. He's like, and he throws it on the chair. And Taz's like, I think he likes the shillelagh. Michael Cole's like, yeah, he wins all his matches with it. I was like, damn, dude, come on. And then
Is he wrong?
he's not wrong, no.
And he loses all his matches with it too.
Yeah, well, he just likes to fight.
Listen,
Leave the guy alone.
that was some of the stiffest shit. Finley was busting his head in, and like Benoit was bleeding, like not in a like a way that you think like wrestling blood will work.
What are we? How did we end up at this moment? Now?
I just
talked
thought
about the entrance.
It's just a thought, and well, it's just like the match itself. I'm just thinking of Finley beating him up in the head, and it just didn't like not Ric Flair blood. Or like if you think of like a chair shot to the head and there's bleeding profusely, they bladed. He's just like bleeding in a weird way where it's just like it's hard way. Like he got elbowed so fucking hard that
he's just pooling. Like
he's just pooling. It just doesn't look right, and like you can tell like Benoit is in a shit ton of pain at that point. It is fucked looking, and I think Finley also got hit in the same way.
Well, yeah, no, that's the whole reason why they put those two against each other was so they could go out and shoot. And that's why the match was a clinic, because they were literally going out and just murdering each other. And it's
pause.
I think the reason why I skipped so far ahead because the first 10 minutes was just them stiff shotting each other, just like, and then just holding and then holding
because we went from Joe describing Finley's entrance to
You're right.
Like, and then Chris Benoit was just bleeding everywhere.
Ty borrowed some of the Undertaker's teleporting powers.
Hey man,
teleported us to the last quarter of the match.
Dude, I felt like I just teleported to the middle of the match because I don't know what happened in the beginning. It just felt like nothing. It felt like a lot of.
It's how every match is. A
I
slow
know,
start building
it's gotta have that 20
people
minutes.
getting destroyed.
Chris Benoit listened to.
This was a very normal match structure. No,
I didn't want to go through like they did rest holds, they did this. You listen to the old episodes. I say that a lot. I gotta give you the highlights.
It's not necessarily that it's a bad match structure. It's just that we've already had 2 or 3 matches tonight that have already followed the same structure, or at least not the same structure, but have already done somewhat of the same formula. Where it's like, all right, the same thing with Booker T and Gunner.
I mean, I disagree though. I disagree entirely.
Disagree, yeah, because Booker was definitely jet lagged and rust holding Gunner Scott. This was a technical like submission like match.
This is why they call me Highlight Ty.
And the second match was literally like not a match at all because the match got fucking destroyed before it started, and then we just cut to the Tatanka promo.
But no, it's at least to that, like, to the degree of building matches, right? It's you can't have 2 matches have the same finish per se, but like the same structure, whether they be 5 minutes, 7 minutes, they have the same shines, they have the same spots, they have the same bumps, all in the same place. But no matter what the finish is, it's still going to take the same amount of time. So Joey Mercury and Eminem coming out and just disrupting the match, that's their segment. That's going to be wholly what they're going to do. So when Fit comes out, he can't just jump whoever before the beginning of the bell because that spot was already done previously in the night. So coming from that mentality, seeing so many spots that are so similar done, once you get 2 or 3 matches in, it just gets really like it wears down on you, and especially when you have 2 people like Benoit and Finley where they can work and they'll put on a clinic and it just still just feels the same as it did, and it's
but that's why I like Finley, like, because he can like he'll wait in the ring. He waited for Benoit to come out to the ring. He put the shillelagh down in the corner. Like he'll let the fight come to him, but he can also do, like you were saying, he can jump a guy. He's crazy. He'll do it. He doesn't care. It's because he's Irish and he's Finley and he likes to fight. But
and that works.
But I have to disagree when you say
that spot twice in a night.
But I have to disagree when you say that we're doing the same spot or doing the same beat for beat, because Gunner and Booker is philosophically different.
Well, no, I wasn't saying beat for beat. I'm saying like they have their own segments. This is why I mentioned Eminem as well, where they have their own segment. More so, what I meant was that when you have so many segments that follow the same pacing, or that like not necessarily have the same structure, but are more so like built last minute, where it's like, okay, Booker and Gunner, Booker just got off a plane. They're discussing this match 5 minutes ahead from when they come out. They're running spots in the locker room while they're changing, and it just felt, at least to me, where it's especially watching the 2 of them shoot, Finley and Benoit, where it's like, okay, they're more so calling these. They're actually not shooting per se, where they're just beating the hell out of each other. They are doing spots. They are doing shines. They are,
I mean, Finley and
doing
Chris
rest holds
have
and
like a defined match, though. There's a defined match structure to it, and they were going on the journey. Like the journey of Gunner, Scott, and Booker T was just so anticlimactic. It was Gunner Scott gets offense on Booker T gets a few moves in, and Sharmell does a distraction, and Booker T hits his finisher and wins. And that's just patently different from what this match was.
But the finish was the same. It's okay. So we're gonna have this match 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It's gonna be sandbagging. Booker beating the hell out of him, doing whatever. Carmel comes in, makes the distraction, has a dirty finish, which that is a dirty finish because it's off a distraction. And so the same thing happens. Finley wins his match.
It's a different kind of dirty finish, though.
It's different.
That's the same thing. It's still a dirty finish. That's what I mean. Where I'm saying it's not beat for beat the same segment. It's not beat for beat the same spot. They're not doing. Finley's not bum rushing him like somebody else did, because you can't. Like I said, you can't do the same spot twice in the night.
Is that what we're calling this episode? We're calling the dirty finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirty finish.
So
I
still, I'm sort of coming around to what you're saying, James, but I feel like the way these finishes happen, they're dirty. We finish them, but they like the way a dirty finish, happens is just like changes like the outcome of like what we had been watching for the past 20 minutes, where Booker T obviously is underhanded and will hide behind his wife to do some dirty work.
Yeah,
Finley's like a bulldog. He'll come at you. He'll do something dirty.
He's
like
doing three distracting things at once that the referee has to address, and he can't address them all because he's ridiculous.
This is all Finley facilitating that. He's not philosophically playing dirty in the same way that Booker T is.
Yeah.
No, I understand that the way the story is being told, it's different. But it's and this is the thing, it's where it's not binary. It's not what you say or how you say it. It's what you say and how you say it. So at least from my view, having a match of Finley versus Benoit where they can put on a 25-minute clinic, they could put on a 45-minute clinic if they had enough time to write the match. They could sit there and come up with a million different finishes, especially from somebody like Dave Finley, who is looked at as a locker room leader at this time, where he's more so of a veteran and he's been around for close to 20 years. And it's, okay, well, somebody already had not necessarily a dirty finish, but it was more so they had the distraction earlier in the night. Why not just avoid a dirty finish altogether and just more so go for a submission, go for a pinfall, go for a double count out? Who cares?
It's because the goal is to keep Benoit looking strong, because this isn't a pay-per-view match. It's for the King of the Ring.
This is King
that's
of the
what
Ring.
I mean is that that's what I mean is that it's a weekly episodic thing. You have to string programs out 3-4 weeks in a row, which is why there's talking segments, which is why people aren't wrestling every week. But I don't know, especially when it seemed like this match was somewhat prepared, but also even if it's not prepared, you have two people that seem like they're very well versed in what they're doing. To me, it just seems like it takes away from the 25 minutes that we just watched.
I just thought it was a good match, man.
Shot.
I really like when Benoit smushed Finley said.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, next.
So true.
When we come back from commercial.
Wait. Do we even get to finish here? Just I'll run it through real quick.
Yeah,
I'll run it through real quick.
One.
Chris Benoit tries for a fucking flying headbutt. That's the one that did it. He was gone. Finley goes for his fucking shillelagh. He drops it. The ref goes, he. Chris Benoit tries to pick it up. The ref's like, hey, man, listen, man. And then the chair that was brought out earlier gets used. And the nastiest fucking chair shot to the neck. Like, he didn't smack him over the head. He just, like, went into the neck. And I was like, holy shit, he connected. And Benoit was like, ah! And then he got Celtic crossed, and it was over. Good 20-minute match, but I just felt like there could have been more to it. There was a lot of jaw-jacking in the beginning, a lot of weird shit. The pacing was off, I feel like, because it was 20 minutes on a TV show. It was a good TV show match. On pay-per-view, it would have been crazy. They could have done so much more.
This was a real bruiser match, because like you say, we started out technical, going at it, dogging each other up, and then Chris Benoit, they both stand up, they're like, all right, do some. Finley hits him with a nasty clothesline, and they start brawling. They get back to technical. Finley's had enough of it because he can't out technical Benoit, who, by the way, took my advice from the WrestleMania show and bought some fucking pants where he can read what it says on the side. Still says number 4 real. Shout out to Fantastic Four. Finley's like, I can't wrestle this guy. I'm gonna throw 30 chairs into the ring. Throws a couple chairs. One of the chairs misses, bounces back out of the ring, and hits Tony Chimmel, who Finley threw on the floor, which I thought was funny. Ref was like, "Hey, don't do that." And then the finish, like Ty described, Shillelagh Celtic Cross, wrap him up.
Should have been
Finley
on a
moves
pay per view.
to the
I
next
hope
round.
I hope we get out of pay per view because it felt like it's weird. I say it was long. Could have been longer because they had a lot
I enjoyed
cooking
it.
at the end, which I wish they would have elongated a little bit.
Well, that's.
Oh no,
that's,
yeah, it wasn't a bad match at all. It's just I just felt like towards the finish, it just really fell
was hot.
flat for me.
I thought the finish was hot. I thought the
I just
beginning was
believe
flat.
like
but
this is just a TV match. This is the match that you put out when you're producing a weekly TV show. There's nothing wrong with it in any way. I think it's a well put together match.
Oh no,
Was there-
definitely, 100%. I just if this was a pay-per-view match, I would want more out of it.
yeah, we'll move on. Narum, did you have anything in between these matches, or was it just straight into the goat match?
Oh no, it was straight into the go match.
Okay,
I mean,
so I'm gonna go
there's
through
nothing
it.
really there. They just come back from commercial.
I'm
they
gonna
sell
go
the
through it because these are
angles
my
and stuff.
boys here. I got my guys here. The
You can't
Gemini.
just claim Scotty Too Hottie.
Nope, the Gemini.
And
Jake
Funaki.
and Jesse.
Those are my two guys. Actually,
I saw Gemini coming out. I started sweating. I had to take off my shirt. I was like, God
Do you know
damn.
which is which?
Oh
Taz
yeah,
knows.
dude. I had to take off my shirt. I was sweating so much. I was like, Gemini baby, and I had to start clapping at the TV like that one dude on TikTok that loves basketball and goes to Target. I was like, yeah, and Gemini hasn't done a single thing yet, but I'm clapping. We got Funaki and Scotty Too Hottie on a team. Crazy fit. Don't know why they're together, but easy.
Scotty Funaki, bro.
Easy. Gemini kills these dudes. Taz calls him Jim Gemini. Michael Cole says that's not him, and he said that's the 4th Gemini. And then Taz says ha 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 ha, and Michael says who's the third? And Taz goes I don't know. What a fucker. You can't disrespect my Gemini. That lost all respect for Taz. I hope he leaves soon. Fuck him. Gemini dogs out Funaki, tags him in. Scotty comes in. Scotty immediately gets killed by what they called the crash diet, which I missed their old finisher. This one was kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. That hurt my
What
heart.
was it? How would you describe it?
I don't know. They like picked them up and just slammed them together.
it's just a double power.
I
bomb.
liked the fucking weird little neck breaker they did because it was different. But yeah, the power bomb, whatever. They get the dub. They're on a win streak. Gemini, you know what? Get rid of London and Kendrick. I want these guys to be tag team champions. They're the Gemini.
They have that Goldberg look about them. They have very much this that like
Fuck
powerful,
Goldberg.
big sweaty.
Fuck Goldberg.
To be
These are my
honest-
guys.
This is just Ryback squared.
That's fine. Bobby Lashley's backstage. I don't
Hold
think
on, you
he
skipped
has
the See No
eyebrows.
Evil promo. You skipped the
doesn't
See No
have-
Evil promo.
I didn't see it on my end.
May 19.
Did they show it on the Peacock?
I don't. Maybe it wasn't on Peacock.
I didn't see it. Where was
didn't see
I?
anything. It went
I
from
didn't
this
see it.
match to the backstage segment.
I may have been watching an illicit copy. I can't confirm or deny.
See, that's what we need.
Bobby Lashley.
What Quiznos commercials did you get on your,
Oh, dude,
on
Well-
your legally obtained copy?
I can't disclose that.
If Bobby Lashley
Bobby
catches you
Lashley-
doing
Not
that,
until Quiznos
if Bobby Lashley catches you, pal, he's gonna get you.
Listen, Bobby Lashley, shades of Kurt Angle, breaks into Booker T's room.
Yeah, Booker T, naked.
Booker
Charmel,
T's
naked.
Charmel is not
Sure.
naked.
Charmel clothed.
Booker T very naked. He's using towels to cover up.
Uh-huh.
He says, "What are you doing in here, man? What are you doing in here?" And Lashley's like, "I think you forgot something when you said you made that speech out there." Lashley, all time not great at doing promos in this era.
Mm-hmm. No
Um,
charisma
No, which is crazy. But
compared to where he is now.
basically says, you forgot about me. And Booker's like, Lashley, you're a tough kid, but you're no match for the 5-time WCW champion. I don't know why Booker's still saying that. WCW is dead and buried.
For
WWE
5
does
years.
not care.
And then Booker T got on the ground, did a spinneroonie, and hang dong in the middle of the locker room because the towel was not long enough.
I saw the
And then
vision,
the
to be
USA,
honest.
and then the U.S. Bank Arena just imploded.
Yep. Everybody was just chanting.
I gotta respect Booker T's hair care routine where he had his braids like up in the towel too. Just a funny visual.
There's something real about
Booker
it.
walks in, Charmel is like putting on a shirt. She yells, Booker, and Booker might be like on the thumbnail twice. The way he busts out of that door with the towel over his fucking privates, the towel over his hair. That's so crazy.
Well,
then
and that's
he's-
what I love. Like, Booker is never afraid to do stuff like that.
No, it's sad because, and we'll probably talk about it when we get to TNA with Booker, but he likes doing stuff like this, especially putting over new people.
He's just goofy.
Lashley is new at this time, relatively. So, but yeah, Lashley then is like, I'm going to beat you. And can you dig that, sucker?
Yeah,
And then
then,
Booker gets flabbergasted.
then they put me in the time warp.
He
dude.
said my thing at me.
And then he asks Charmel if she's okay. He's like, you okay, baby? You okay? And then he says he's going to bust in Lashley's ass.
That's great.
I'm a
I
bust
can't
his
wait. I cannot wait for that.
ass.
So, right after this, great promo, little silly guy. And then we get the juniors division match, right? So then we have Ataganacito
This is
versus whoever, and then Finley comes out and kills both of them, and just
That's what
ruined the juniors division. Wait,
Yep.
do I have my notes
They
wrong?
live under the ring now.
Oh wait, no, I had my notes wrong. Guys,
Yep.
I'm so sorry. So we had a triple threat cruiserweight title number one contender match with Super Crazy, Kid Cash, and Nunzio, a la ECW.
Mhm.
And we get about 2 minutes in,
And then
and then the Great
What
Khali
happens?
comes out and kills
Yep.
them both, all three of them. I think
and now they live under the ring with the junior division.
yeah, it was. My bad, guys. I thought I got a little brain injury there.
You know,
Might
like
have been
how they, you know, how
I know
the
you have a
Keebler
brain
elves-
injury because you didn't say anything about the Juan Deere.
yeah, guys.
Guys.
I couldn't be excited because Great Khali killed them. Great Khali.
We had Juan Deere and fucking Big Vito shadow boxing Nunzio in
Yeah.
the ring.
Dude,
Nunzio,
I'm
real
sorry,
graps.
guys. My brain broke.
Well, it's all right because WWE Judgment Day, the main theme song is revealed to be "This Fire Burns" by Killswitch Engage.
Yeah,
The
and
Converse, the Converse boys. It's real.
What do you mean? That was just like Randy Orton's theme one night. I don't know who Cum is.
yeah, they tried it with a couple people, and it was a show
too good.
theme. They wanted it as the Raw theme. They made it Randy's theme.
It's
and
too
it stuck
good.
with Punk's
Well,
theme.
it's for the CD. That's why they made it Randy's.
Yeah, they have
Jesus
Randy Orton on the
fucking
CD.
So real
Yeah, it's
quick,
'cause,
I
he
just need
always
to
loved Killswitch
we need
Engage.
to address the junior division and what's going on with them. They're currently relegated to living beneath the ring, similar to the Keebler elves living in trees, and they're making all of the equipment that like that chair that Finley pulled out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That was a product of the junior division, and so now Super Crazy, Kid Cash, and Nunzio are down there with them, making inanimate objects to be used for disqualification purposes.
No, they're down there with Eddie.
Oh my god!
All right. Next, what do you guys think of Judgment Day being brought to you by Biotech Nutritional?
Dun, 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 dun.
I usually
Are we
talk
gonna be able
about
to? Are we gonna be able to find some for the pod?
I looked up Biotech. They're still in business somehow.
Can we get some for the
They
pod?
sell
They available
overpriced
on Amazon.
protein. Yeah, I don't know if they have Amazon. I went to their straight up website. During some commercial break or like replay, Taz was like, "Oh, the biotechusa.com, whatever."
What are they called?
If you go to the
Biotech or
website, we're not
Vitotech?
liable. We're not liable for any viruses or damage if you go to that website. But I went on it, and they're selling fucking protein for like $150. I'm like, dude,
150.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
All right, guys. Patreons right now. 5,000 Patreons.
Science-backed formula.
We'll get all the Biotech formulas and we'll do a review of each of them.
Hold
Biotech
on.
cocktail. If
Free
you will.
testosterone amplifier? Yes, please.
Oh my
10% off my order.
10% off our order. 10% off your Redbubble order if you order now.
Why is
Back
it
up
Go on the
merch.
website. The first thing it says when I go on the website is make a choice.
I'm not
Damn,
going to do
dude.
that.
Damn, dude, chill.
Now it's time for the main event.
Pachow,
Yeah.
pachow, pachow, pachow.
JBL comes out here.
I'm glad they forgot about his U.S. title.
Taz
Dun.
daps up JBL. Cole tries to, and JBL just.
Wait, what about our Raw rebound?
Well, shut the
We
fuck up.
fucking hate Raw here, pal.
Fuck you, Raw. Fuck the Fed.
So true.
JBL spends the entire 10 minutes making fun of Mexicans.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
literally
won't shut up.
during their entrances, they're literally Lillian's in the ring announcing the competitors, and he is
He's
literally
just-
ranting. Oh, it's
There's
just
some-
prime
there's some-
JBL.
There's some real truth being shown here. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say about
JBL
what. But
Henry comes out. Ray comes out. JBL says that Mark Henry is a real American.
Yep.
And I
True.
said Fox News is giving you a strike for that one, buddy.
He's not getting a job
Whoa,
because of that
whoa.
line.
That's why they fire him.
Cole then says, JBL, I don't know why you don't like me. I'm like you. I'm not Mexican. And JBL says, no, you are not like me at all. I've had beer tabs bigger than you.
Damn.
Come on.
Hey,
JB.
said it on-
Come on,
dead.
man. JBL's crazy.
He kind of cooked his ass.
JBL fucking, he was cooking.
He's
Fucking-
he's good at what he does.
What's not cooking though is this match. The only
Match is
thing
mid.
I can remember is Mark Henry kicking Rey Mysterio in the nuts.
Yeah. This was like the quickest main event we've had in a while on both shows. And just why?
Ray's like being agile, dodging around at first, but then
Why did
it's
we make
just
Ray
like
look so bad?
I'm sorry, I could barely notice because JBL goes fucking red in the face talking.
Yeah, he just
For
yelled
like
the whole
for
time.
15 for fucking 10 minutes straight. He will
Mark
not
Henry
shut
is
the
eating
fuck
Ray
up.
like a $3.99 pizza buffet.
I wish I knew what that was like.
I don't understand what they're doing with Ray. Like, I'm not even going to go through the match because, like, whatever. It does
Clearly
not matter.
Narum has never out pizzaed the Hut.
Ray tries to hit a 619. He connects. And how the fuck are they going to make the World Heavyweight Champ's finisher look like dog shit? So Mark Henry gets hit by the 619. Ray goes for his splash on him. And then Mark Henry no-sells the fucking 619, picks him up off the ground, and then just World's Strongest slams him and beats him in 5 minutes. What the fuck are they doing? What does this do for the champ? What does this do for Ray?
It doesn't. They're
Oh.
trying to build Mark Henry up, but it buries Rey Mysterio so drastically.
Mark Henry's not even on the show.
Because he's
On
little.
top of having JBL bury him as well, where it's just like you already have JBL cutting so hard of a promo on him to begin with.
All right, I need
And
you to open
now-
up your third eye for a moment. You open up your third eye. You're Vince McMahon. This little Mexican lad is your world champion because everybody wanted him to be, and everybody feels bad about his friend dying. How are you booking him? Exactly
Oh,
like this.
I'd book him. Well, if I'm Vince McMahon, yes, yeah, that's fair. But that's if it's Vince McMahon. That's the whole thing. But it's even then, it's sad. It's really
terrible. It's horrid. This is one of the worst title reigns of all time. Like historically, great moment.
Allegedly,
Terrible title reign.
allegedly, according to a former SmackDown writer, Court Bauer, he said this on Conan's podcast. So take it for what you will. He said that Vince McMahon did not like Rey Mysterio, and he didn't like the idea of Rey Mysterio as champion, but creative did. So
I believe that.
This is Vince McMahon punishing creative for liking something he doesn't.
literally like it's the cruiserweights. He has a fetish for bodybuilders. He always has. He always will.
I'll run through the end real quick of the show because so JBL on commentary before he gets killed, he reveals that he paid off Mark Henry. Cool. After the match, Mark Henry drags him up by the leg to the stage and then throws him into the wall. And then he I don't know what he was cooking because there's no way Mark Henry was gonna take a fucking dive off the stage like that. He was so high up.
JBL sounded genuinely concerned. He's like, Mark,
Yeah,
Mark, don't do this.
Yeah, why would Mark
do
do that?
Like he paid off Mark to do this, but
And then he said,
Mark went too far, right? So JBL takes off the headset. He runs up there. He's like, with a microphone, Don't do this, Mark. Don't do this. And then you get what JBL's really at. Don't destroy him. He has to make it to Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I'll beat him at Judgment Day, Mark, and then you'll be the first title defense. You will be the number one contender. You'll get the first match against me. Please don't do it.
Trust me, Mark. Trust me, Mark.
He finally talks Mark off the ledge, and then just right away, right back to it. JBL starts slapping Rey Mysterio. I was like, "Hey, Vato,
amigo."
He turns it back on immediately.
It's crazy.
I would get it if the idea was like he wants Rey not too killed, so he can beat him and be like, "Look, I beat him, fair and square." But he doesn't say that.
Then he says, "You're fighting Great Khali next week."
He just wants him healthy enough to where he can compete, so that he can beat him.
Great Khali versus
not
Rey.
that
God damn.
Not that he needs to make it because of like any type of honorable reason. He just needs to make it so that he can actually have the match. Yeah.
And it's just so weird to have this happen to where it's okay. We're going to put him in like a dire situation to have him get squashed by Mark Henry, and then the very next week, oh hey, we're going to put you up against someone even bigger, but we don't want him to kill you either. So then what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Why? Because it looks funny? Is that it?
Well, JBL's throwing it back in Rey. JBL's throwing Rey Mysterio's fighting spirit back in his face because at the top, Rey told JBL, "I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere." JBL's like, obviously came prepared because he knew Rey was going to do that, based on whatever
historical operation.
Yeah. And then JBL just pushes it further. He's like, "Are you a man of your word, Rey Mysterio? Then next week you got the Great Khali. And if he doesn't fight him, then JBL is vindicated based on his thoughts about Rey Mysterio and his people."
I know, I understand. I get that. It's just more so the if it were to say if he didn't have Rey Mysterio beat down, say if they didn't have the spot where he was trying to preserve Rey Mysterio, I think it would make sense more. But that's just me, because then it's like, okay, I'm not going to kill you, but then next week I'm going to give you to a guy who's going to kill you, and that's the whole that's just my mentality. Where it's like if you have the chance to put somebody down, put him down, but it's also, hey, we got to make it to the pay-per-view, so like let's try to build this however we can. It was just for me, it was
sure.
Like it made sense. It was just like.
But Mark Henry has a track record of killing a guy. Last week he killed Kurt Angle, and JBL will probably, again based on empirical data, if a title was vacated, if Rey Mysterio had to vacate the title, he would probably have less of a chance of becoming the World Heavyweight Champion than right now, being weakened by sending mercenaries at Rey.
Oh yeah, no, it's just more so. I guess the level of mercenary, you know what I mean? Where it's like,
well, the Great Khali has a handler, so that makes JBL's job even easier.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's fair.
Something.
The other thing is to consider is it's a week's worth of recovery.
Yeah, it's also true, but it's especially based on whatever damage has been inflicted. That'll be important to take into factor as well. It was just a weird leap in logic, at least for that moment for me. Mm-hmm. So, like, I understand where it's leading. I understand why it's happening. I definitely okay. But just the way that it was said, I was just like, okay, this is all right, rad. But no, like, especially to see Rey Mysterio put, like, not forcibly put, but more so being booked like this week after week. You really hope it's going to pay off to where he's going to get that big victory. And it's like, oh, okay, we've seen him squashed so many times to come up as the big underdog again. So I just hope that's where it leads, and it's not just like, oh, well, guess what? So
yeah. No, I get
that. I just read, and this guy predicted the future, but kind of has like a good point. Ray, Christian, and Ziggler are three guys who got world title reigns, only to be sabotaged by Vince to prove a point. I suspect Ziggler is given an annual mid-card title reign to keep him on the hook during his prime. Otherwise, former world champion Nick Nemeth on the Indies would be 10 times a bigger deal than Cody Rhodes would ever be.
They nailed it.
Holy cook. That's what I'm saying.
6 years ago,
Did he know?
posted by a Redditor.
that's-
Holy.
Yeah. It's the same situation with a lot of guys. Like, do you think if the Miz like actually got a little bit more road work underneath him and like actually traveled around, he wouldn't improve tenfold? Like, it's the same thing. It wouldn't necessarily benefit everybody greatly, but no, it's
The Miz
I think-
also isn't that dude to care about it. He just wants to be WWE
I
forever.
think it worked
yeah,
out.
he's a company
the
guy,
Miz.
definitely.
It worked out for the Miz in a totally different way than I think
At the end of the day, Miz won.
it might have led up to Ray, right?
Miz
Because
is
Ray now is like celebrated, like historical figure, but like up until like even his return when he went back to WWE in like 2018 or whatever, absolute fucking dog shit. And like I was like celebrating like when Ray finally left. It was like, oh yeah, after
Mhm.
fucking 5 knee surgeries and a bum fucking shoulder, like it's about time, you know?
Bro needed to
Yeah,
be free.
Well, and especially it's like there's only so much that they're gonna let him do too, and it's
Anyways, your Buddy Rogers fact of the night. In 1989, old Buddy Rogers was eating a turkey sandwich at a hoagie shop in Florida. A 6'2" man who weighed 230 pounds came in and began verbally abusing 2 female employees. Buddy Rogers told the man to stop shouting, but the guy called him old and challenged him to a fight. Buddy Rogers pushed the man to the wall, which led to the man throwing a chair at him. Rogers then fought back and threw the man 5 feet into a refrigerator. Buddy Rogers then hit him in the stomach, knocking him into the kitchen. He then held on to Rogers' hair repeatedly, telling him to stop, fleeing the shop afterwards. Rogers received 14 stitches after the fight and stated that the worst part of the incident was the guy calling him old. He said, "I'm only 68. That's not so old."
And I think you've been
Hell
smacked
yeah.
up for that.
No, hold on.
What
hold
do
on,
you
hold on.
mean?
No, hold on.
He did it at 71, so
We need to I need to give a quick rundown of the entire show just to put everything into perspective
Oh
here.
boy, buddy.
Look,
lay it out.
I'll see you next
yeah.
week.
It,
All right, you've been backed up.
You've been smacked up.
You've just been wienered up.